Hi everyone, it's Øyvind Martinsen here. In this session we're gonna talk about wildlife photography and some of the equipments we can use when we are out in the field. And in this session I will show you how to use the 600mm lens in different positions with and without tripod, and some other useful equipment we can use in the field. Here I have my camera on the tripod, and when we have the camera on the tripod we have to switch off the image stabilizer here. It's here, now it's on, now it's off. If you have image stabilizer off. If you have the image stabilizer on, when it's in a position like this on the tripod, the images will be unsharp. So you have to switch it off and you're ready to go. In other cases, when you're hand holding your big lens, you can put it on. Then you can take sharper images on longer shutter speeds than without the image stabilizer. So it's a very useful tool, but you need to know when to use it. When I'm working with my camera on the tripod here, I normally loosen the sideways screw here. So open it, and I can move the camera sideways freely. And then I can just open the main screw and I can move this ball head and the lens in the position I want. So open this. So if I have a bird in flight, I can move like this. Just pan it. Or if a bird is in the tree, I can quickly shift position when it jumps around. This is a way to carry your big lens when you are using a tripod. So you can walk like this. And when you see something, take the legs out, put it carefully on the ground, and then you're ready to go. If I'm hand holding my camera, I put on the image stabilizer. The image stabilizer must be on. I walk, and then, or I can sit. When something happens, I lift my camera, I look over the camera, and then I get the target in the viewfinder and I shoot. So I do it like this, move the camera, I look over the camera, put a viewfinder in the eye, and then I'm ready to go. Like this. When I'm holding the lens, I put my elbows tight, so I have a good stable arm here and the other one here. And also my head is improving the stability by holding my head into the camera. And when I swing, I move my legs forward like this. And if I have to pan, if a bird is flying or an animal running, I move like this. I swing my upper body like this. Another useful tool to support your big lens in wildlife photography is a monopod. It's a one-legged support, and it's a telescope. You can drag it out like this, and you're ready to go. Now we just need the lens, so I attach my big lens up here. Lock it, and I'm ready to go. So this is very useful for wildlife and action photos, and it's very easy to pan your camera. If you have moving subjects, you can pan it. So when I'm using a monopod, I'm keeping the image stabilizer on, because Here the camera is in motion, more movements. When I walk with the monopod, I normally walk like this. And if I see something, I can put down very fast and be ready to go, ready to shoot. If I'm working uphill in very steep terrain, I take in the leg of my monopod a little bit, like this, because otherwise the monopod will touch the ground if I move uphill. So if I see something, I drag it out, lock, put it down, and I'm ready to shoot. So very useful, easy to bring, and it's good support, and you can work very fast when things happen. Sometimes we have to blend into the environment, and using a camouflage tent, a blind, can be a very good solution. And I can put this up. It's a pop-up tent, and it's very easy to bring. It's a backpack here. I can use it here on my back when I'm walking. And it's folded like this. I can just do like this, and it opens up. Here we go. Yes. See, the back door is here. We go like this. Here is the back door on the tent. You can open it here. And you have a large opening. You can move in all your stuff, close it. Another good part with this tent is it has 3 openings for your lens. So here's one. So you can work in different directions when you are inside. Each opening has one big one and one small, with a mosquito net in camouflage color, and you can open the Velcro and only the lens can be visible. And another good thing with this, you can look out through the net, but the wildlife can see you inside. So 3 openings, 1 and 2, same here, also the big one, and the number 3 here. So okay, here I am inside the blind. I have my tripod, my big lens, and I'm sitting here comfortably on a chair, and I'm fine-tuning the height. I can go a little bit more in, and I'm ready to go. So if some wildlife approaches, I will be hiding here and start taking pictures. Normally it's wise to put up this blind a few days before you are going to take the pictures, so wildlife will be familiar to these alien objects in their surroundings, and you will get more close to wildlife. So this is the big opening. I'm gonna use the smaller one. I close this one and open here. It's even better. It's very hard to see me in here now. So here I can move the lens and take good pictures. And I can close more here. Now it's only the lens showing. if it's windy, you can attach the tent to the ground using this rope here. And we have these plugs that are very handy. They come with the tent, and you just take one and attach it to the ground like this. So if it's windy conditions, you can attach these in the four corners, and you can also attach here at the bottom of the tent. Each corner has a hole here. You can attach it here too. So this is a Doghouse pop-up tent, and from Ameristep, and I used it many times. It's very good. It's actually room for 2 persons, but ideal is for 1. So you can bring some food, drinks, and you can spend many hours in there and be close to wildlife and get very good shots. I'm gonna teach you how you can use a flash and a flash beamer. I have my flash and my flash beamer inside these neoprene pouches, and it's very good protection. It's a very good protection. So when we are out in the field, there are always dust and water and many things that can destroy our equipment. So here we have the flash beamer. Here's the flash. I put it in the right angle. I have the beamer, and it's very simple. It's attached with a Velcro. Put it here on the flash, like this. Position it there, and I drag the strap and attach it here. But one part is missing, and that is the magnifying part, the glass here. Also very simple and easy. Attach it in front here with the Velcro there, the other side over there. So this beamer, it narrows the light beam from the flash, so the flashlight will be thrown much farther away, and it's very useful when you're working in dark situations. For example, inside the rainforest where it's very dark and you have birds and animals inside this dark light. So the flash will also bring out the colors in the feathers of the birds, so it's very useful. So but you have to be very careful when it's sunny, because this is a magnifying glass, so you can actually start a fire. So if you point this towards the sun, it can start to burn in the other end. So don't leave it in your house or in your photo bag like this. So the sun comes in, you can actually start a fire in your house or in your photo bag. So when you're finished using this beamer, always take off the magnifying part and put it inside this. There's also a warning here on the package. So put it always back. But for now, we're going to mount it on the camera. So see how it fits. So it's very simple. Attach the flash as normal, and there we go. So now the light from the flash will be thrown away much far away from the camera and in a narrower beam. So I have taken shots with the flash on a white bird at 150 meters away in the evening light. So, and it's a magnificent tool, and it's a must for every wildlife photographer. So go ahead and buy it. It's not very expensive, so but it's worth its weight in gold. So just do it. Sometimes we can use a smaller lens for wildlife. This is my 24 to 70 millimeter. I'm gonna look for some smooth-bill anis that are fairly tolerant to humans. So I'm gonna put it on 70 millimeter, and we're gonna walk slowly through the fields here. And sometimes we get them really up close, and you can just use this lens to get good images and maybe put them in context to the landscapes. So let's go and try. So here we have them very close. You can just walk slowly. I have one down there. I'm going to try that one. You see, I have the bird very close. It's only 1 meter away. So I'm using my 24 to 70 millimeter lens on 70 millimeter at aperture 7.1, ISO 800. It's moving. Very nice bird. Good pictures. I had them very up close here. It's still sitting there. So I got some good pictures with the 24 to 70 millimeter, and you're gonna see when you come in on the computer. But as far as I can see here, it's very good. About 1 meter away from the camera. So these birds are very tolerant to humans. So you don't always have to use the big lenses for wildlife photos. Try the smaller ones too. Hi again. In this sequence we're going to talk about how we can use flash units, 2 flash units, and with a remote control. So we can sit far away from the camera and trigger the shutter. So here I have set up a flash on a tripod here. I have my camera with a flash mounted on, and here on this flower we can expect some hummingbirds or butterflies to come in and visit these flowers. So I will point my camera towards that one. So the setup is like this. This flash is a master flash, and this one is a slave. So this flash will send a signal to this flash, and they will go off simultaneously. So this is the master, this is the slave, and you set up the settings here on the flash here. You fine-tune this to the master setting, and this one to the slave setting. Here's my flash, and this one is going to be the master flash, and this will send a signal to another flash, the other one I have here, and they will go off simultaneously. But first I need to set it up to be a master flash, and I do that by pressing this button on my Canon 580 EX2 flash. So I press this button, I hold it in, and a menu pops up. Then I turn this wheel, one time, and it says master here, and I press the center here on the button, and now it's activated. I also need to activate the high-speed sync here, because if I don't do that, the camera will not able to shoot fast shutter speed like 1/8000 of a second. So I activate that here by pressing this button, and the sign pops up here, high speed sync. So once this is activated, I can shoot with very high speeds on my shutter speed. So for example 1/8000 of a second. So I'm gonna do one more adjustment, because we're gonna work with close-up things, and I will set the flash power down to -1, and I activate the setting by pressing the button here in center, and now it says 0. I turn the wheel to the left, -1/3, -2/3, and then -1. And then I press the button here. So then the flash will send a little bit less light, but it will also charge faster. So we are ready to go. So we have the master setting, we have the high speed sync, and I fine-tuned the flashlight by the flash power by setting it to -1 setting. Now let's take a look at the slave flash. And this is the slave flash. First thing I have to do is to activate the high speed sync, and I do that by pressing that button. I activate it, then the high speed sync sign pops up here. And we also need to activate this flash as slave. So I press this button, hold it in, then the menu pops up. Now it's off. Now turn the wheel here. Now it's in master, and then one more time. Now it's in slave mode. Then I activate it by pressing the button here. So we have high speed sync, we have slave mode, and I also want to adjust the light here on the flash, so the setting. I want to set down the power of the flashlight a little bit. So I press down the button here. Now it says 0, but I turn it to 1, -1/3, -2/3, and then -1. So again, we have the high speed sync, so we can shoot at fast shutter speed with the camera at for example 1/8000 of a second, which I'm going to use here. And we have the flash as a slave, so it will receive a signal from the other flash, and we have the -1 setting for the flash power. So then it will charge faster, and it will send enough light in the close-up situation I'm working in now. So we're ready to go. So just to repeat one more time, so this is the master flash. It's mounted on the camera, and it sends a signal to the slave, which is on another tripod. So I will adjust the positions close to my subject, but this is the principle. So the master mounted on the camera sends a signal to the flash mounted on another tripod, or you can of course position the flash in another, on a rock or a tree or something. It's up to you. So you have to improvise when you're working out in the field. So this one sends a signal from this flash and over to this flash. I have the remote control, so I can sit up to 100 meters away with this Canon remote control, and the receiver is here connected to the camera here. So I attach it with a tape, and here's the receiver, and I can sit far away and I can trigger the cameras and take pictures without disturbing the animals. Another solution can be using also a remote for the flashes, so I can actually put it on the camera like this, and then I can have 2 or more flash units posted around and get light from different directions. So in this case I'm using 2. This wireless flash release will send signals to these 2 flash units. But for now I'm going to work with this flash on as a master and this as a slave. So this is an option. It's a Canon speed light transmitter, an option to this other solution. So I'm going to fine-tune my composition and fine-tune the position of the flash, and then I can go back in the chair and sit and wait. I use manual focus here. You don't need autofocus. So it's okay. Flash is on master, and this is in slave mode. I think the direction is fine. So I send this light a little bit. The central light will be here. So if a hummingbird is coming here or a butterfly, it will receive light, and this flash will send flashlight in this area. So we are ready to go. I have my remote and I can go back and wait. Here I am in my chair, and the camera and the flashes are down there, but I have my remote control and I can trigger the camera from here and sit comfortably with a cup of coffee. My camera settings are in manual light metering mode, and my shutter speeds are very fast. Now I'm using 1/8000 of a second at f14, and I'm using ISO 800. With this fast shutter speed I can try to freeze the action if a fast moving hummingbird is coming in. So now I can just sit and wait and see what happens.